Hello and welcome to another week of progress on the Foundation. This week I was working on events, and yesterday I found out, right as I was about to make my video yesterday, I found out that I had failed to make the events support multiple spawn locations, something that was critical to the future of the game. Redoing my code for the last week in one day was quite killer, but I managed to get it done, managed to complete it. Support for multiple spawn locations, and got rid of all the bugs that created too, so that's good. Even found a few bugs I didn't know existed and got rid of those, so good stability. Happy about that. Alright, so let's see if we can show off some of the event details that have appeared this week. Alright, first of all, you may have noticed that I managed to get a zoom in transition for the event. Also, you can see here that I have a little icon to indicate where the event is. This is once your agents have located the event. An icon will appear to show where the event has been located so you can take action. There's a little bit of a 3D effect on the icon, you may notice. I think that makes it look a little bit nicer. It may get replaced as time goes on, but I'm actually quite happy with it right now. Once you click on the icon, this pops up. Now this one, you may notice, is not an SCP. This is an anomalous event that has occurred that has come to the Foundation's attention. It has a designation of EV for event. I will give it a number eventually. Locations listed. You also can see some aspects. For one thing here, you'll see that there's a number on the aspects and tags, 745. That's because this event actually is supposed to have something to do with SCP-745. That allows the event to be tagged with an SCP. Then solving this event can lead into finding the SCP-745. Down here you see status. This is a description of the event. An abnormally high number of civilians have been reported missing. Over here are the actions you can take. They will always default to something, so you can immediately take action with your defaults here. So if I click over here, secure has the securing options of picking what kind of response you want to take to secure it. Something to note, these options will be dynamically populated in the future, so only ones that you actually have access to will appear. The resend response teams, eventually it'll be implemented that the response teams have a chance to resolve the event themselves, because they will be the first responders, not your MTF teams. And if they manage to resolve it themselves, then you'll get a summary of what the event was and what actions your response team took to resolve it. If they failed, then you'll have the option to pick something else, such as one of your MTF teams, or send out a military force. Then on the containment aspect, okay, so my containment aspect would be picking what kind of like amnesiacs or cover-up story you want to craft in order to hide the event from the civilian populace. Apparently my checkmark boxes got reused from the secure for the most part, so that's my bad. One option is to do nothing, and then some options, like I said, amnesiacs or cover stories. The protect option is where you want to place the item. So in a site, or eventually you might unlock the option to just decommission the object, anomalous item, SCP, whatever it is. And so once you pick your options, you can take action or ignore the event entirely. Okay, here we have another event. It's another anomalous activity, and you can see that has different tags, different status, so different events. I can have a lot of different events. But what I wanted to demonstrate by bringing this up is that I have been working with someone who goes by Dr. Reach on the wiki, and they are responsible for the icons on the left and right. I forgot to call that out last week. Individual also is not a coder. However, that person wrote up these events that you see that have appeared here. That is the really cool thing that I wanted to show with this, is that as much as I can make it possible, I am going to make this game moddable for those who have no coding experience. I want it to be moddable if you just have the ability to use Microsoft Word or some other text editing program that you can go in and craft up your own content to add into the game. Now, obviously, there'll be some limits to this, especially if we get to the base building and combat portions of the game that I hope to get to. When it comes to 3D objects, it gets a little bit harder for non-coders to craft up mods. However, a lot of the content in the game has a text basis, or it can be given behaviors based on different functions that I write up and make available as part of the API. I will be doing a video demonstration and probably a blog post as well about this modding next week, but it's something I'm really excited about because I know that the majority of the wiki users and the community are writers, not really coders, not really modders, and I wanted to still make modding and adding to this game something within their reach. And I hope to be able to demonstrate just how much they'll be able to add to the game over the coming weeks. So look forward to that. I'm excited about it. So along with the events that are still being worked on, there's a lot of back-end work that still needs to be done. But as part of it, I wanted to show off a little bit of what I've been working on with the management as well. So over here on the left, you can see that there's a lot of new buttons. Lots of new buttons. Now, most of them don't do anything yet, but I found a document on the wiki which, although not particularly canon for everybody, it divided out different departments of the SCP Foundation, and based on some of those departments I split out and made these various buttons. Now, they might not cover everything you want to see in the game, and if not, let me know in the comments, post wherever you like, bring up the discussion about what other things you want to see in the management menu, because I'm going to start populating up these GUIs and showing them off, and I want to have some discussions about what should be on them, because some of these affect how the back end should work. Like event resolution needs to tie into groups of interest, tie into administration, finances, lots of different things. And so the more discussion we have about what you want to see in the management helps me to build that into the back end so that I can support it as we go forward. I added in a world menu. It's very boring, very empty right now, and right now it's just set to kind of be some placeholders right now, because as I made it I realized, well, that's really boring. Just a description and policies. Surely there's more that we want to have at a global level. So let me know what you want to see as far as world level management. Still have the regions. One new one that I teased a picture of earlier this week is the O5 Council management. And so here you can go over and you can see the various council members. You can select one, and then you would be able to assign your various staff members to them. You can change their role. Right now the way I see it is that each council member can have a certain specialty, a certain role that they take in the foundation, that they oversee and help take the burden off of the administrator. If you see that differently, be sure to comment about it, tell me how you'd like to see it. But if they're assigned certain roles, they can help in those roles, and they will help make things faster, speedier, less costs, and have a great effect over things in those areas. However, as you'll see from some of the tells and even some of the SCPs, sometimes the O5 council members see things differently from other council members or even the administrator. And so I've put an option for O5 council members to go rogue if not carefully monitored or rewarded for their efforts. Also to be exposed to different SCP effects. That's what this contaminated that apparently got chopped off is supposed to represent. Also, different attacks or things might end up with them terminated or injured. Anyway, leave your feedback, and next week I'll talk some about the modding for the game, as I said, and we'll be working on more GUI screens, more back-end implementation of events, and hopefully moving to groups of interest as soon as possible, because I'm seeing a lot of questions and a lot of interest in the groups of interest, so I want to start developing on those as soon as possible. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to showing you more.